Hi, Robin.
Hi, Kristen. How are you doing?
Oh, how am I doing? I don't know. I'm in a wave,
Tell me
emotional
everything,
wave. Just things
everything.
just feel a little off. I'm not labeling it or analyzing it, just feels off. That's all. I don't know what feels off. I just feel off.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, how are you?
Similar.
Here we are.
Similar, but I think I know why.
Oh, do you want to share?
Hormone replacement therapy.
Ah,
Hormones are hormoning,
your hormones.
or they're not,
I
but
see.
it's okay. This
Yeah.
too shall pass.
Right. So what can you do? This is my curiosity. This has been my curiosity.
What's been your curiosity? Tell me.
My curiosity is just observing myself, being in the, oh man, this is why I feel this way, and letting that go and getting rid of that. And because
Mm.
that's my old self. And so I feel an old version of me is drifting away, and I am just allowing myself to feel the way that I'm feeling. And when an idea or I'm analyzing a reason, I just say, oh, could be that. And then just try to let it be.
That's a really good way to handle that, I think.
Well, it's new and well, it's somewhat new, but now it's more my default. And my dog's barking at me. What do you need? Do you need to go outside? Okay, hold on a second. We just paused and yeah, I was just sharing about how I'm have stepped into this ability to just be curious and observe and not label and not ruminate over what could be making me feel a certain way and just leaning into it. Yeah, it still feels sticky, but it's okay. I know no matter what, how I feel, everything's going to be okay.
Well, I mean, that's ultimately the thing is to just be like, okay, I will eventually feel okay.
Yeah.
I find what I love about what you're saying is that, well, for me, I find that historically, I've wanted to fix things as quickly as possible. If there's
Yeah.
something disrupting me, fix it, find it and fix it, find it and fix it. And it's
Yep.
almost like desperate need
Yeah.
to return things to the status quo.
Right.
And then when you're growing, you've disrupted the
Status quo. I love it.
status grow.
Yeah.
That needs to be the name of something.
I
I've disrupted the status quo and I want it to be disrupted. And then there's that part of me that's like, but wait, I need to feel comfort. I need to
know.
feel the way that I used to feel. I don't want to feel this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that scanning. There's that constant scanning of like, what's wrong? What do I need to fix? Ugh, it's
I
exhausting.
know. I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
Let it
Like
be
I said, I'm
sticky.
trading that in with, I just feel, and also it's just is a feeling. It might not even be mine. It might not even, I guess to me, I'm done analyzing it and I'm just going to be with it. But also being able to go about my day, not letting it, because in the past, I would sit on the sofa and be like, oh, and sometimes that's needed. But when, like you said, try to fix it and try to figure out what's causing it and fixing whatever is causing it and making myself feel better. I just think now that I have to feel like I have to feel uncomfortable to fucking make magic and grow and make good things happen. So I'm uncomfortable right now. So bring on whatever you got for me because I'm ready.
Bring it, bring it.
Right? Here I
Okay.
am.
I love that. And I practiced this ever so slightly yesterday, I think it was. It might have been the day before. But working on something and just being like, oh my God, I just like have so much anxiety. I'm just like, I know that I was like frantically working on something. And not because that work needed me to be frantic. I just noticed that I was frantically working. And I was like, what are you doing and why? Wanting to fix it.
Yeah.
And remembering this lesson that I learned when I was getting certified as a coach, it might have been then, but it was the same woman who founded the life coach school. She was talking about she's got low grade anxiety all the time, or maybe even high grade. I don't know. But
Yeah.
she's like, I have anxiety right now. She was recording a video. She's like, I'm standing here teaching you guys this lesson and I have anxiety. And I'm just like, let it pass through. It's just passing
Yeah.
through. It's just
Yeah.
anxiety. I feel anxiety and I'm teaching this. I think so.
Yes.
That was like the thing that I was able to grasp for whatever reason in the last couple of days and just be like, oh, okay, so I have anxiety and I'm doing this thing that I need to do, that I want to
Yeah.
be working on. I don't have to stop this and go deal with the fact that I have anxiety.
Right. And the anxiety is the fear. It's
Yeah.
not, when we boil it down, it is fear. It's fear stepping in to try to convince you that what you're doing is not okay because it feels uncomfortable or a vulnerable place and protecting you. And so when you develop a different relationship, you recognize that anxiety, you're like, hey, I see you. I don't need you to step in anymore. Like, I feel you. And now I'm going to translate that feeling to keep going. Don't give up. Because
Mm.
people take that feeling and they let the fear take over and be like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I can't do this anymore. This isn't the right. Like, they connect it with their intuition and they stop. And so a lot of times when fear gets involved and tries to protect us and we don't move through it and we don't develop that new relationship with it, it stops us from growing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Woo! So now it's, hey there, anxiety. You can just, I'm going to put you on the shelf right there. You can watch me and I'm going to do this. And this is helpful. This is helpful for me.
Oh gosh, I love that so much. So let me revisit. I've probably told you about this before, but it was maybe one of the first times that I realized there are voices in my head saying things and they aren't mine. And
Yeah.
where did this come from? Why is it happening now? What the hell? And it was, I think my kids must have been in probably elementary and middle school-ish ages. And I was in anthropology.
I love that
And
story.
I love to walk through anthropology and look at all of the things because everything's so detailed and lush and like the store displays, the fabrics, the way things smell in there, everything has beautiful details. So there's a lot to see. And when I go in, I want to look at everything. And I started to hyperventilate and I was at first I noticed that I'd started feeling like I got to get out of here. I can't be here. Just the
Yeah.
sensation of got to move, got to go. And then I started the next couple of visits. I'm like, that keeps happening to me. What is that? And I was hearing the words, you can't be in here. You have to go. You're going to get in trouble. Like, what in the heck was that? And so I think that that might have been at a time in my life when I was wanting to grow, especially around how I managed money and how much money I was bringing in. I was growing a tiny business at that time and that sort of wanting to grow. So that discomfort of like that. And then to be in anthropology, where I had in my life previous to that been like, I need to get work clothes. I'm starting this new job. I'm moving from cold weather to warm weather. I need a good set of clothes. Anthropology dropped who knows how much money. I don't even know, but it was a lot because I
Yeah.
bought like 8 to 12 items.
Woo!
Yeah, so kind of a shit ton of money for
Yeah.
me at that time, but I was making money and coming to a job where I was making more money. So it was like, boom. So I'm like, I have this experience here of, yeah, I get to be here. I get to spend money here. Why now is this turning into this thing that's fraught with you're in trouble? You're supposed to be doing something else right now. And so I was interpreting it as I'm being a bad mom because I'm in this store shopping and I'm not I don't know, volunteering at school. I couldn't even tell you what it was at the time, but it was like, it was all kid in school and like, you're not where you're supposed to be related.
Yeah.
And the voices were like, my mom, you know, the, the, the guy who ran the detention situation at my high school, like those voices. So voices from my memory from situations when I
Wow.
actually was in trouble because I wasn't where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that
Wow.
was absolutely wild and having it happen at that time and just be like, wow, that not knowing that was probably that growth edge that we're talking about, but now looking back and being like that's what it was. It was that thing was trying to keep me small, keep me
Mhm.
out of this situation, whereas it didn't exist before, which I think is so curious.
And then you get to a point where you're like, thanks for being there. Flick. Psh, goodbye. Well, it's almost like, do you feel like it? You hear a lot of times how people talk about tests from the universe. And so would you say that was simply maybe a test where this inner voice came in
Yeah, I
and
think so.
yeah.
I
I
think
mean, because
so.
it's different from people like your intuition or hear maybe their spirit guides or whatever turn right. That's a very different experience. What you did, that voice saying you're not supposed to be in here, you're gonna get in trouble. You're standing in as your intuition, something's about to go down in the store, get out of here versus you went in and it happened a couple of times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think the feeling is different, like
yeah,
in
yeah,
how that feels in the body, at least
yeah,
for my in my experience, because when I've gotten those messages, I've never been saved from, oh, get out of this intersection.
yeah,
Maybe I have, but I'm unaware of whether or not there was an accident that missed me or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
There have been those moments where I had very clear direction, and what that feels like is almost lacking in feeling,
Mhm.
lacking in
Yes,
like physical sensation of
yeah,
that. So it feels like targeted,
yeah,
focused,
yeah, yeah.
and everything's clear. And you
Uh,
just become aligned with what your next move needs to be. You're downloading
yes.
it. But the other one is just ooh, fraught with so much physical sensation of what it is to have anxiety or fear. It's really alive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did, just so everybody knows, repeated visits to anthropology
I probably saw you there.
to solve it for myself. What is that called? Immersion therapy or something like
Yeah,
that?
or retail therapy.
Immersion retail therapy. No, I wasn't always buying stuff, but yeah. And then we have a joke about it at my house because I told my husband about it for the first time when we were at an anthropology in Europe. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you ever knew this, but this used to happen and I fixed it. He's like, how'd you fix it? I'm like, I come to anthropology all the time. And sometimes I buy stuff that's not on sale.
Love it. And I did it because I can.
I'm totally fine now.
Yeah.
He fixed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I've never been to an anthropology in Europe before.
You should go.
Yeah.
Where were we? We were in Bath. They had the
Wow.
cutest shoes. That's where I discovered for the first time, crazily enough, because we don't have necessarily a shoe department in Pasadena,
Yeah.
anthropology, but they had all these cute sneakers, Gola
Mm.
brand sneakers. Oh my God, so cute.
Ooh. You bought yourself a pair? No. Mm.
No, I was traveling, so it's like I can't add anything to my already
That's true.
overpacked suitcase.
That's true.
I
That's
really need
true.
to plan better.
Oh man. All right. Well, what else is alive for you right now?
Mm, what is alive for me? I feel really okay. There's a couple of very real world things Not that all of this is not real world. There's all of what we talk about is real world stuff. But as far as money mindset related things, I am constantly telling people who are in my circles, people that I teach or lead workshops or coach, to pay attention to where your money is leaking, not just your energetic leaking of stuff and how
Yeah.
you think about money and how you feel and believe, but the actual accounts.
Oh,
And I have such a big one that I'm in
share.
right now. And I was absolutely enraged about it yesterday, which makes me believe that, oh, my hormones are way off because I'm having one of those, I was going to say PTSD, but no, PMS, a PMS level of energetic response to it.
Oh,
And there is an insurance company that owes me $3,200
what?
because there's a duplicate policy. And I'm like, how did I let this happen? Where was I not paying attention? And then I was like, you know what? That doesn't even matter. Here's what matters is that I found it.
Yeah.
There's a massive leak. This is not how I prefer to save money,
Right.
but they've been holding $3,200 of mine and I'm going to get it back. But man, I was absolutely furious about this yesterday. I wrote the
Ah,
most incendiary email. I
yeah.
really took all that rage, put it in an email, and pressed send.
How'd that feel?
I was exhausted after that. I'm like, I got to go take a little nappy poo.
You
And
drained yourself.
I did. I put a lot into it because there was a lot of, I screwed up energy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, wait,
The
let me look.
self-blame,
No,
huh?
I didn't screw up. As much as I was not paying attention to that particular card and what was happening on it, I was like, let me just go. Wait a minute. I thought I'd straightened this out months ago. And then I was like, let me go back to the very beginning when they first started charging me. Why are they charging me? I can't even find what it's attached to. Anyway, that's a very real world problem. And the process for me of just paying attention, just bringing myself back to paying attention to the in and outflow energetically of money.
Yeah.
This is so fun because I'm talking a lot in my writing. In what I'm creating is bringing it down to a very basic lesson. What I teach about is there's so many pieces of it. And if we just take the tiniest sliver and we're to solve one problem for somebody in 1 hour, it would be look at your money daily and do
Yeah.
that sort of like immersion therapy so that you're not stunned by that number. You're not like, oh, I
Right.
don't want to look at my bank account because I know there's not enough money in there and I've got to pay all of this. That's a very fraught emotional state. And so it's kind of funny that it happened to me just
Well,
yesterday because I'm literally in the last 2 days. That's what I've been working on is taking everything that I teach and turning into one very first step. Find out where your
yeah.
money is, find
Yeah.
out where you stand.
And remember, that's how you're designed.
Tell me.
You're supposed to experience it
Right,
first, and
right,
then
right,
you
right.
take it and then you share it. So, to me, hearing this, you're going to help people, or there's something in from this experience that is going to evolve, or it's going to help dozens
Mm,
of people, or I don't know what kind of insurance company is, but we're looking at systems that were built that are still standing, that the ones that are not built with integrity, they're going to crumble down. We're going to see they're going to be exposed.
I love this vision of the world that you have. I hope and want that. And I know that that is going to be absolutely a wild ride. I mean, it is happening. We are on the very, I think, front edges of that.
Yeah.
And I just hope that it does because I
Mm.
think living a little bit more like feral pagans probably way better for us as human beings, as like the
Yeah.
human race. And to imagine combining that sort of a future where we're a little more feral and we're a little more pagan, a little more, and what I mean by feral is I mean a little more free. We're not in the structure. Because the structure of a 9 to 5, which that barely even exists because employers take advantage of
Yeah.
people and they're working way too many hours, but just this sort of structured work week and that we're all supposed to fit into that. And women don't, because we have this whole energetic flow and we're supposed to. We're supposed to. So, and it's really not good for us and it's not good for the entirety of society, I think, to try to be this regimentedly productive thing. It
Yeah.
works for capitalism, but we can see where that's leading.
Well, yeah, and that was all well and good when we needed it, when it was created, but now it's it's corrupt. We see that, and it's funny because I just had a session with a woman, she's a reflector, and I was talking to her about how well, I mean, most of us, I think we're gonna learn if we really take the time. I'm all about being introspective and really, really take the time and figuring out how we flow in our lives. And I thought about this too for a long time, ever since I was a young girl. Like I always I stepped on that box, but I hid myself because then there were moments where I was like, oh shoot, I can't be like that because I'm gonna be by myself or this person's not gonna like me, whatever. And now I'm like blowing up boxes, but I think we're in this this energy of really understanding ourselves, understanding how we work, understanding for manifesting generators and human design, we can do probably 3 hours worth of work in 1 hour. That's how we're built. And
Yes.
projectors, a projector is someone who is only built to be doing like 2 or 3 front facing hours of work and then needs to go either rest or do research on their own, be with themselves to really build their knowledge because they're meant to have like breakthroughs and things. A generator has that sustainable energy to be able to be like the Energizer Bunny only when they're doing the things that like really light them up.
Mm.
So I with human design, it really helps you understand and get out of that status quo because the status quo, wherever you are, if you're in it, that's what is creating the burnout. That's what's creating the frustration. That's what's creating the gossip in the staff room. Yes, I know we need to make money, we need to sustain ourselves, we need to live. But when we can separate the job that brings in the money with how we really should begin to navigate, then it all balances out. And then I'm still in that because my relationship with money has been quite a journey, but like just really grounding ourselves in what we need to live and what we need and how we need to navigate our work and our passion and the
Mm.
things we do and how we use our energy. I think that's what's coming
Yeah.
down
See,
the
I love
pipeline.
that. I love that vision of the future. Again, the way you see it. I'm sitting here going, how long is that going to take to implement? Are we going to see that in our lifetimes? Like literally, not so much about it would be cool to see it in my lifetime. That's not going to happen. Maybe my next
Well,
lifetime. But like, how long do you think it would take for this world to shift
it's
to that?
shifting as we speak. And I don't think that, okay, so as far as human design goes, the shift is 2027. So,
I don't
but
know. Tell me,
it takes it
because
we
that's
have to
soon.
be open to. I think there's with I don't know, you throw some astrology in there and there's some planetary shifts, but if you're still holding on to the way things were,
Mm,
you're
yeah,
just going
yeah.
to
Okay.
continue to hold on to that. And so you and I talk a lot about this leveling up, this timeline jumping. And I can look back, and I know you can look back and be like, oh my God, yeah, I'm a different human being. the way that I approach things, like even a year ago. And I think everyone, for example, for me, my 2025 and how challenging it was, but instead of looking at it as what is happening to me, why is this happening to me? I moved through it knowing that it was happening
Mm,
for me, and I needed to show myself that I can weather any storm.
yes. And you didn't run back to previous safety, previous safe havens, because it's
Even,
not safe.
even though I wanted to.
Even though you wanted to and everything looked like you should, and everybody was probably saying, why don't you take that job?
Right.
Yeah. Whew.
I know. And that's the thing. Sometimes our path is, it doesn't, people would be like, what are you doing? And I just feel like all my life it's been, you don't understand, but I do. And it's okay that you don't understand, but you just have to be grounded in. When I
Mm.
left my marriage, I woke up one day like, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what I want. I took the path of living the dream. You go to college, you graduate, you get a job, you get married, you have a family, you buy a house.
And then what?
It didn't feel good. I didn't know my true self. Okay. I'm not putting any blame. There was a catalyst for me to be like,
What was the catalyst? Okay, I want to ask this question, but I want to ask it through the lens of what is the catalyst that's happening globally and also how it pertains to you.
well, I just think for me, the catalyst was in my mind, I thought I was going to have 3 kids, 3 babies, and I was pregnant with my third. And I bought the big sister shirts for my daughters, and I was going to go back east. This is 2014, I think. I was going to go back east and I was putting on a wedding shower for my younger sister. And I went to, I thought it was, I don't know, maybe I was 7 or 8 weeks. And I went to the doctor's appointment before I went back east, and there was a black hole. And she's like, I don't see a fetus. And I was like, what? And so she was like, you lost the baby. And so in my mind, to get through that, because I had a miscarriage before my second daughter and I got pregnant right away with her. So then I was like, okay, well, my body will shed and then I'll just get pregnant right away, like I did with Harper.
Mhm.
Okay. So then I got through that. I didn't process it. I avoid, okay, this is happening to me, whatever. And then I got my period and I did not get pregnant. And that was the catalyst of me being like, what? Literally, I was like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to have another child when you don't even know who you are?
Wow, that just came out of the blue. I mean, it makes sense from the perspective of how just this amazingness of bringing life through your body and that connection to source and have it come through, literally move through you. That's more than just the physical, it is huge. It's like you
Yeah.
hold this whole universe here, right? So it makes sense that you would tap into that. And I just I want to that piece. I'm sure that everybody has their story
Yeah.
if they're aware that there is something going on. And sometimes it just hits you out of the blue. Right? You're living this mainstream life, and then all of a sudden you're like, blink,
Oh,
oh shit.
the light turns on. And then I don't need to get into it, but then I recognize I don't like my marriage, this isn't healthy. And I wasn't navigating it in a healthy way. I wasn't aware of communicating my feelings and being heard.
And what did you know about those things at before that
I
moment?
didn't, nothing. All I thought was when you have a conflict, it was a battle with your spouse and it was ugly and it was yelling and insulting but I didn't have much self-worth. And yeah, so I decided in that path, I was like, okay, I'm going to start going out with girlfriends more. And I got certified as an indoor cycling instructor and I started teaching spin and started doing things more for myself because I
Mhm.
had two young kids and I did the whole mom thing. And then I would go home and make dinner and do the laundry and take care of the kids and wake up and then go to work. And it was exhausting. And I
Yeah.
was like, what? No, and there were
So there's a natural inquiry. Okay, first, hang on. I'm so sorry for the loss of that pregnancy for you.
thank you.
I totally glossed over that because I was just listening.
Well, there's this, I'll tell you after you're done, I'll tell you something about it.
But there's this, you had the early stages of your life, the early parts of your life where you were already stepping on boxes. So there was something in you. And I think there is something in everyone, but especially for girls, because we have to be so conditioned to serve everybody and keep this thing going that we shut it down. We're forced to shut down that part of us, but then that natural questioning and inquiry and need to smash the boxes that you're in, that you're being forced into. So that finding that connecting piece for others or showing them just that it is, I think is huge.
Well, I'm a breast cancer survivor. So I had kids later because I had breast cancer at my end of my 20s, had to go on tamoxifen for 5 years, and then early to mid 30s, able to start having children. So then I think there's this shedding of a way of being when I had the cancer, but not a full shedding. But I once in a while in my past, I talk to a psychic or an intuitive
They
and
say, do you remember?
yeah, and I believe this. When she said this, I knew because she said the baby that I had was a boy and he basically came into my life to change the trajectory of my life. And he
Thanks, old
did.
guy.
I know. I know. And some people believe that stuff and some people don't. And I do. I know that because he did change the trajectory of my
Mm,
life. Like my
that's
life
amazing.
changed after that. And
Ah,
so
that is wicked
it's a
cool.
little angel.
Yeah, a little part of your soul family.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is, and some people could be like, well, how can you do that? Because I left my marriage. Some of the things that I did wasn't the best way, but there is a process, and then on the other side comes this person who really has really attended to my inner world.
Mm,
I look at myself when my girls were young, going through all that really difficult stuff, and I probably wasn't the best mother or the best human being, but I got that opportunity in my life to be like, you know what, life, and then I had that other aha moment of I don't think life's supposed to feel this way. And so that just was my path. I am going to figure out how to be the best version of myself and finally got to a place where when I didn't like how I showed up or what I said, as opposed to shaming myself like I used to do, it was okay. What can we learn from
mm,
this?
mhm.
How can you take accountability? And I think that shift is something I think we all need that.
Yeah.
We all need that. Like, ooh, this doesn't feel right. How can I take accountability? My girls are my mirrors. Whenever there's something crunchy between us, it's, ooh, I didn't do something right, and that's okay. This is a gift. I get to figure out what I can do next time to
Mm.
not feel this way.
That's such a more peaceful way to just be in the
Yeah.
world, but be with yourself so that you get to honor your need as a human while you're going through your life and being in a marriage, getting out of a marriage, having children, raising those children, and
Yeah.
doing all of the things and finding your true self and living it. Literally, that smashing, stepping on the boxes and then blowing them up left and
Yeah.
right is so many people. Okay. The conditioning that we get as women in this world, in this country, in various parts of this country, and the religious aspect of it, and the being forced down this, and now it's the government is trying to get its hands in it, already has its hands in it, and everything that goes along with it's terrifying, it's horrific, and there's women who are fighting to stay within it. So we talked earlier about running back to the status quo, running back to where it feels safe, even though where it feels safe and comfortable is not safe or comfortable at all. And you really are forced down the path of giving yourself, the entirety of you, over to the function of what, who knows who, society,
Right.
leaders have decreed who knows how many years ago, and breaking that cycle. And I'm so fascinated with understanding how that happened for you. I kind of have an understanding of who I was as a kid. I was a critical thinker and
Yeah.
kind of a bit of a weirdo, or I was just told that I was a weirdo. And so
But
I
that's actually
believed
a compliment.
it. I see it now as a
Right,
compliment that
right,
they're
right. Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she's her own thing.
Yeah.
But
Aw.
to be able to be prepared, have communities of women that are prepared to help those women who are still in that and want to
Mhm.
stay in that comfort zone, but something is going to compel them out, I think,
Right,
to be
right.
ready to catch them, have a safe place to land, and just be like, here, we got you. Here's how we
Yeah.
do this. There's a safe place for you.
And it almost, for me, I look at it as an extraction, but a loving extraction, right? I don't feel, I personally don't think, say you have a friend who's in it and you're like, no, get away from that. It's horrible, but this gentle extraction of let's ground you and really help you connect with yourself, and then you get to recognize and realize that what was happening to you wasn't okay, as opposed to the guns blazing and I just don't think the way we approach the changing of humanity is let's blow things up and guns blazing. It's more of let's pull your mind away from that terrible thing that was happening, get it out of you, get you to really see who you are and understand who you are, and let you approach it with love.
Yeah, love for yourself first, and then love for
Yes.
the ones that come, like your children would be the next,
Yeah. Well,
your
and that was another
family.
thing I learned. I didn't have any self-love. I didn't take care of myself. And I had a therapist tell me, well, you should start meditating. And then what the heck is that? And then maybe a year or two later, going through the divorce, I was like, oh, he was so right, that therapist, because you connect back to yourself.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So good. And we think everything needs to be this quick fix,
Mhm.
be done, but that's never how it happens. It's a process, it's a path, you have to, I think I've shared this before, you have to like step into the fire a little more. You called it like immersive therapy, and just peel more awareness to what feels right, what doesn't feel right. Oh, this happened again. Then you start seeing the patterns, and then you're like, I don't want to experience that anymore. And with a gentle approach, it's okay, this is a boundary I'm going to set, whether you verbalize it or not. And then you just figure out if the boundary gets invaded, how to go about either just keeping that boundary up and not communicating it, or just allowing yourself to just be like, hey, this is what happened last time and I don't want to do that. So the ball is in your court, but I'm not going to wait around for you. Although I think there's layers of ourselves that we have to heal, and we have to disrupt our nervous system and move through that in order to transform. But I'm all about communication.
And I think that disrupting your nervous system definitely comes with the territory. Disrupting it on purpose and recognizing when it's disrupted because you're like, oh, yeah, I'm really uncomfortable here and I'm being
Mhm.
called into something new. So I think that maybe the trick is tools to manage your nervous system, and then discernment, and then developing your skill for discernment, which
Yes.
requires deep self-trust to be like,
Yes.
oh, I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
And be able to be like, I'm going to go into this nervous system disruption even more because I'm going for the growth
Yes.
edge. Such a good edge.
Yeah.
So hard to be on.
Yeah. Well, and you hear a lot about people working on your nervous system, and which is great, but hopefully you're not going to numb your nervous system and just kind of skate through life. I don't think that's a good thing to
No,
do.
no. And I think that's what people want. I mean,
Yeah.
unskilled. When you're not
Mhm.
unskilled, yes, unskilled, but also unaware, and you just need that fix. Just need to fix it so that you can continue with the status quo. And hey, recognizing all of this can be broken and better,
Right.
and kind of wanting it feels really good, but we're so sold on this idea of we have to keep the nuclear family together at
Yeah.
all costs, even if that cost is the entirety of you, woman, and your girl
Exactly.
children,
Exactly.
and the men. We know they're suffering from all of this.
Ooh.
Here we are back at matriarchy.
I know. Well, another amazing conversation with you.
Yeah. So fun. I love the trajectory it takes.
I know.
Woo! And how we
Woo.
always end up coming back to the same place.
Always.